Welcome to the Converse Session. This week we have two ladies, Seppy and Masi, discussing what lessons they would give to themselves now that they're older and in different seasons and phases of their lives. We hope that this episode will be of benefit to you. And even if you're older, we know that there's components of this episode that will be of great benefit to you. And now, the Converse Session.
So 21-year-old self, what would I like to tell my 21-year-old self? There's so much I've learned over time from the Christian interactions, work-life balance, the home setting, and all these, even the books I've read and just the experiences that life brings on, that if I had this wisdom now, back then, life would have been so
life better.
Yeah. And I think one of the key ones is on relationships. I think we take relationships for granted. You know, back then being an outgoing.
What do you mean relationships?
Just the different relationships we have, be it with the people
family,
from church, your family. You get to meet so many relatives. You have so much time to visit, to interact. In the school setting, university, you have so many people you come across. So just managing those relationships well, being deliberate in ensuring that each relationship you leave a positive impact, and each relationship you aim to be a positive you. You are not allowing yourself to be angry anyhow or nervous about meeting new people and things like that. So I think I would like to tell myself to say, manage those relationships well. Because nowadays I meet some people and they'll call me by name and I'm like, oh, I remember this face.
But you don't remember where from.
Yes, and worse still, I don't even remember the kind of impression I left with them. So I'll tell myself, manage those relationships well and be deliberate in leaving a positive impact, but much more, each relationship must be able to testify that you are a Christian, being an ambassador with each relationship that you interact with.
I think for me, it would be more or less on the reverse, because you are more outgoing, and I've always thought I'm an introvert, although I'm beginning to, as I turn 30 this year, I'm actually wondering to say, okay, am I really an introvert, or am I just a sort of person who always built walls around myself? So for me, I feel in relation to yours and human relations, mine would be to make the most of the opportunities I have in the sense of the environments I'm in. Say, for example, when I was at uni, making friends, not putting up unnecessary walls, which prevented me from, creating lasting friendships and relationships with people. So for me, I think I'll tell my 21-year-old self to stop worrying so much about the interactions with people, to stop overanalyzing every person that I meet, and just be open to friendship, be open to new people. Because you know that we're always laughing that one person we always wonder is, for example, my husband. How did we miss him?
Yeah.
He was friends with my friends, and we were in the same setting, same fellowship, same campus, and we got into university at the very same time. But because of the person that I was then, I feel like I lost out on friendships like friendships with him.
Yeah.
Now that I'm in a long-lasting relationship with him, I'm saying to myself, had we met when I was on campus, and had I allowed myself, to just be open to people, getting to know people, and just have normal friendships with people without overanalyzing every little thing in my life, I think I would have been a much I don't want to say more fulfilled. It's not like I'm not fulfilled, but I think I would really have had more friends, I feel, had better relationships with people than I feel that I've created from the various sectors that the Lord has allowed me to be in. And I think also in line with that, I feel like I lost out on showing the world in the places that I was in secondary school, in university, showing more people my life and showing more people Christ, you know, because the Bible speaks about they are watching you, marking everything you do, hearing the things you say. So had I had the opportunity to speak to more people than I did, because I always convinced myself that I was an introvert and I wasn't getting to know people, I feel like I lost out on even bringing Christ to the world. I feel like I didn't make as much of an impact as I would have loved when I was 21. So I think, yes, in connection with relationships, I think those are some of the things I'll tell myself, to say, look, make more friends and share the word of God in those relationships and show people Christ in those relationships. So, yeah.
In fact, one of the points you brought out on overanalyzing, I think something that I would tell myself then is be objective in the way you react to different situations. Because, you know, sometimes we are always reading into things. A handsome looking guy comes to say hi, you're already thinking, does he like me? Does he, you know, instead of just enjoying a friendship, now you are busy trying to overanalyze. A guy sends you a message saying hi, you're thinking, so what is he thinking when he's sending this message? You know, just enjoy friendships and enjoy these relationships as they come.
Obviously in a godly manner.
Yes. You don't always have to be in a relationship with this good-looking guy. Yeah. Okay.
For me also, I feel that one major lesson in my life, and I think it continues to be a constant reminder for me because of the character that I have, or how God made me. Although it obviously has its negative intonations, but I would tell my 21-year-old self to stop worrying and just commit everything to the Lord. I've been thinking to myself this week that, look, God has got me and He's got it. You know, and when He says, for example, in Philippians 4 verse 6, that don't worry, but in everything, through prayer and supplication, bring everything to Him. I feel as though back then and even now, God continuously teaches me the fact that, look, Masi, I have you, and I have whatever you think is a problem in your life right now. I mean, I remember when I was making, well, first of all, when I had just entered university, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, am I going to manage to, you know, make it into law school, and will I be able to do well? And even in that, God came through for me and just, you know, showed me that no, look, I've got you even in this. I have given you the ability to be able to read and to be able to remember the things that you've read. Now, obviously, for many people, they would say, but that's such a small issue. But because I know how I am and how I tend to overstress and think and really worry about the very little minor things in life, the Lord has really shown me then and continues to show me how that I ought not to worry. You know, He's got me, He's got it, so I shouldn't worry about anything.
Okay. For me, I think another key lesson to my 21-year-old self, this is actually sort of a testimony. It's the fact that you must build and develop that relationship with God. If there's something that I look back on and not regret, is the fact that back then, when I became a Christian, I made a deliberate effort to make friendship with God, deliberately being friends with Him, reading His Word, studying His Word, meditating on His Word, but going a step further, making sure that in everything I'm doing, I'm asking myself the question, is this in light? Is this right in light with what I have learned from the scriptures? reading so many Christian books to just understand this being better and having a real relationship with Him. I would tell myself, ensure that whatever relationships you have with human or whatever it is you're doing, the relationship with God must be key. Alienate anything that would distract you from that relationship with God. Love Him, enjoy Him, and keep enjoying Him. And to date, even when I'm having any trouble in any relationship, I can always count on the fact that I have this relationship which is constant, and I can always cry to Him. He knows me well, He understands me well. I mean, He is your creator. So just enjoy that relationship and build. Yeah. Let it grow and let it keep growing, because He will guide you in almost anything and everything you need to do, and He will develop your life in a path that you wouldn't regret.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think that's really true. Even I would tell my 21-year-old self to continue to align myself with God, because when He says in Psalm 1 verse 1, I've always liked that passage, and it's one that I'm constantly reminded of, when He says, "Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on His law he meditates day and night." Yeah, so to just continue aligning myself. I'm always telling young people that you never go wrong with aligning yourself with God. You know, and even when I look back at my life and I say to myself, there's so much that I have been saved from in just aligning myself and aligning my life with God. So even now as I grow older, I say to myself, look, you have a testimony. You can see how it has paid off to align yourself with God. So I think I'll tell my 21-year-old self as well to just say, look, continue aligning yourself with God. Don't worry about the things that you're hearing, or the little pressures that come from the world, you know. Just continue to meditate on God's word day and night and align yourself with God. I think God has proved, as you're saying to both you and I, that look, a life lived with God is definitely the best life.
Okay, I think another point for me is embracing who you are. I know back then, some of the things that really worried me was how skinny I was. And it really used to bother me. I remember one time Dad making fun of me. He came to pick me up on campus, and he met my roommate, and she happened to be smaller than I was. He was like in real shock. You know, he picked up the phone, called Mom. He was like, you won't believe it. There's a girl who's smaller than Seppy. You know? And I used to feel so uncomfortable. You know, I would put myself on different diets. I would have multivits and what. But I'm looking back and I'm saying, look, just enjoy who you are. You've been made in the image of God.
Fearfully and wonderful.
Yes. We all have different forms, and God has given us different bodies. Just embrace your body and be comfortable with the way God has made you.
And I think for a lot of us as girls, we each have our insecurities. Yeah, and really at 21, those insecurities seem so pronounced that, like you, when I look back at my photos, I'm like, what was I worried about?
You know?
I actually looked good. Please, God, take me back to 21. You know? No, but then to just constantly remember that, look, God has made you who you are. You're not going to look like your sisters or your friends. They are beautiful in their own right. I am beautiful in my own right. So embracing who you are. And for girls, it's
a real
really,
thing. Because I mean, I even worried about my height at some point. Remember when I liked that guy who was slightly
shorter?
Yeah, I couldn't even put on heels. Yeah, so I would just tell myself to not worry about. Just enjoy being who I am.
I think for me, lastly, and one which anyone who's interacted with me knows that I'm constantly saying this. I know I would tell my 21-year-old self to say, you know, take time to know yourself. or allow yourself the time to develop. I think that's really been, I've seen over the years that certain things that, or as mature as I thought I was at 21, I actually wasn't that mature. I was still young. I still needed time to grow, and therefore some of the decisions that I was making when I was 21 definitely would be reversed, because I know that, look, I'm not yet as mature as I think I am. So I really needed that time to grow. And I mean, obviously, a lot of people will be saying to themselves, but at 21, you're given the key.
Yes.
Everyone, you're looking forward to turning 21,
Yes.
and you think, okay, I'm now truly an adult. But I think I still needed even just a few more years to sort of sit down and say, okay, who am I?
Yeah.
What do I want? Where do I see my life? And in as much, I remember when I turned 21, I remember saying to myself, I think now I'm grown. I think I now know myself. So these are the things that I'm going to set for myself. But I realize now that I'm older that no, I still needed time to grow. And I think that's very key in life, to allow yourself to get to a point where you are definitely certain about your growth. And I'm sure a lot of people say, but how will you know? I think you will know that I'm mature enough to be able to commit, even just to a relationship. So I would really tell my 21-year-old self to say, you know what, give yourself time. Give yourself time to develop, to grow, to get to know who you are, so that even when you decide, for example, later on in life, because everyone feels at 21, okay, look, maybe I'm ready to get married now, I'm old enough to be able to commit and all of that. But I think then I'll tell myself to say, look, get to know yourself, so that even as you are meeting someone later on in life, you're able to clearly be able to let this person into your life and tell them, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, and this is where I would like my life to go.
Yeah. Okay, I think what you've said is true. I'm actually telling myself, I would tell myself to be open-minded, to not think that I know it all, or that I've read enough, to just give myself that opportunity to learn from the different spheres that I'll be exposed to. I think the last point for me would be, I would encourage myself back then and my relationships around me to say, don't be entitled. Entitlement or self-pity will just blind your eye to the opportunities that are right before you, and you also limit your abilities. I would tell myself, make sure as you're going through life, work hard and be grateful and be objective. Don't be entitled. Because sometimes we think the lecturer owes me this, or this relationship owes me that. But I should be able to experience life knowing that there's so much, what more can I do in this regard? How better can I achieve this without complaining so much or feeling like, oh, life is not going the way I want it, or feeling like, no, this person owes me this and this, so they should give me this or else. No, I should just go through life with the right attitude and work hard at ensuring that I'm able to achieve some of the objectives that I have with the right attitude and the right objective.
On entitlements, to remember that God sometimes will take things away from you or close certain things because He wants you to learn something. So instead of you dwelling on, I deserve this, as opposed to saying, okay, what can I learn from the fact that I may have lost out? And on self-pity, to pick yourself up sometimes and not dwell on this is so sad, this is so bad for me, but to be able to look and say, okay, Lord, there's this issue. What would you have me do?
All right, that's good.
Hi guys, thanks for watching.
Njoka should give us a clue.
Okay, I'm gonna come.
Hi guys, thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like,
Comment and subscribe.